the Akaza guide, and I know people have been asking me this for a minute, but here it is. There's a lot of great Akaza players. Well, I wouldn't say a lot, but there's a very few Akaza players that are very great at this game, and I guess I would put myself definitely in that category. I did do a lot with him in Demon Slayer 1, but he's a lot different in this game. He's still very strong. They did change a few things about him, but this character is still undeniably top 3 in my opinion in this game. This character is one of the characters where like his skill ceiling is very high. Like even though he's strong, he's not someone easy to pick up. I'm not gonna understand why some people was asking me to do a guide because they didn't know what goes with what. And I totally understand. This Akaza is a beast, right? He's definitely a character you can pick up, but you gotta know what you're doing, right? To really shine versus the meta, how this game is, right? So I'm gonna tell you guys the combo routes now that I would go for. That it's it's pretty much optimal, and what not to do and what to do in certain scenarios, right? Usually in my videos, I usually have the bar to the left at max, but I'm gonna put it at 0 because I never really do this, right? So if y'all didn't know, right? If y'all didn't know, down combos give the most meter in the game, right? So let's look at his neutral combo. Look at the amount of meter you get, right? Let's go for the up combo, right? You get a little bit of something. And then let's go for his down combo. Look at that. So just keep that in mind. Down combos give the most meter in this game. Now when it comes to Akaza, right, you want to think about Compass Needle, Scar skill. You want to incorporate that in all of his combos, to be honest. You kind of don't want to go for Compass in a combo unless like it's late in a combo for the most part, because they can sub and punish you because you still have some recovery, But like for example, right, let's say you do Disorder, they have a sub, you just want to go for the dash, and then you want to go for a down combo, right? Something light, you know what I mean? Like Akaza does pretty solid damage without doing demon skills, and I'm gonna get to the demon skills in a minute, right? So if they have a sub, you can go for the dash, cancel into plunge, down combo, you're getting like 32%, right? And you're building meter, building a lot of meter, just going for down combos. I go for down combos a lot of the time with Akaza. So now let's just go for some combos, right? So for example, like I said, you want to incorporate Compass into your combos for the most part, right? Let's say you go for a light, 2 lights, you can do Compass, again. Then you can go for a down combo. Even if you don't, fun fact, even if you don't hit the down combo, you still get meter, as you guys saw, for just doing it in anyways. But usually, right, let's say if the combo timer is about to end, I usually do 2 compasses, and then that's pretty much optimal, right? You're getting 35%. That's what you can do. Also, you can do this. Notice how I'm doing the plunge every time. 34%. Something light. So basically, when it comes to Akaza, I usually do his down combos a lot of the time in combos, like a lot of time, because you're getting a lot of meter. And with Akaza, with a lot of meter, it's what I mean. It's good, So like I said, if you go with Disorder, let's say you can go like this, something simple, down combo, 32%. Like I said, Akaza does pretty solid damage in this game, and it's pretty good, right? So like I said, if your opponent has a sub, right, you just want to be a little bit cautious, see their sub patterns and what they're trying to do when you do Compass in your combos, because they can just sub and then punish you and bait out your Compass, right? So just keep that in mind. So let's talk about other things, right? So like I said, those are the combo routes I usually go for, right? You usually dash them, you do lights. This is like more like what you can get for the most part. 27%, and then I stand here, get some meter, jump away. You know what I mean? Like that's usually what you will get in most scenarios, because dashing does scale the combos as well. Let's talk about Akaza's demon skills, right? Now in the last game, if it's basically the same thing. I don't really use his demon skills unless I'm about to cash out and boost, right? like his demon skills scale his combos really bad in this game, like really bad. Like for example, if I do annihilation, right, look at, you could just see how low, like how much less damage I'm getting. Like I did 25% when I was usually getting 27% for starting off with compass, right, and a few little, you know, lights here and there. So his demon skills, you don't want to do it unless like you're about to cash out, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and you're about to boost, you know, and you, unless you have like a huge health lead and you're just like trying to go for the kill, unless you're trying to go for the kill, or you have bar to like boost, you don't want to incorporate his demon skills in his combos, unless like you're making a read, you know. Now, starting with annihilation, you know, you're gonna get something, you know what I mean? You can do that. Then you can plunge into compass, but like I said, you're not really gonna get too much damage. Like you're getting, you're not getting 30% from annihilation, but it's not bad to throw out a neutral. You can check people, check your opponents or whatnot. It's pretty good. It does force your opponent to play a little cautious, knowing that you got a full screen, you know, armored move. Now his collapse, right? You can combo after in the game. I mean, obviously, it's just like the last game. You never want to start. You never want to hit anyone raw with a collapse unless it's like the timer's about to run down and you have health lead and they're trying to dash you, just, you know, collapse. But now in this game, you can collapse after combos. But this is why you don't want to use it in combos. Look at it. He's not getting anything. Like, it scales really bad in his combos. So yeah, when it comes to his demon skills, you know, you don't really want to use them in combos because, like I said, it scales the combos really bad. So let's do some other combo routes, like let's say air type, right? Because a lot of people do air type in air. This is like what you really want to do with them: sidestep into grab. You see, you get the unskilled grab damage when you do that. So every time you're in the air and you hit someone with air type, you want to go air type into the shoulder, move to the side, grab. That's what you want to do every time. That's optimal. That's like super optimal. All the Akaza mains do that. It was a little harder in the last game. At least for me, it was harder to do that in the last game. But you know, but yeah. Now his plunge, Akaza probably. I did make a guide on Guitar as well. I'm not sure if I'm dropping that before or after this one. So Guitar has the best plunge in the game, like theoretically, but Akaza's plunge is definitely up there, right? The hitbox of this plunge is actually insane. Like, it can hit people from behind. Like, it's actually crazy. So a lot of people don't know you can do plunge to compass. I'll do like 2 of them. You know, you get 22%, then you could get some meter, back away, you know. That's what you want to do when you plunge. Just go for 2 compasses if you have the meter. Or let's say you're about to, you know, boost or whatever, you can just plunge and then just collapse, you know, move away. You don't get that much damage, but obviously if you want to take the safer route, you can just plunge and then do 2 compasses as well. Like I said, in this game, Akaza, he can't whiff disorder and then shoot air type anymore. So if you whiff disorder, you can't do compass either. You just have to go for a dash. Akaza is one of those characters where like he doesn't really have a lot of guard pressure. The reason why his skill ceiling is so high is because like Akaza is heavy in meter. Like, he has a level 3 dash speed, which is good. He definitely needed this. But he has his air types, which is red, and you're not going to get too much off of it. So for example, maybe you're about to boost, or maybe you have a very comfortable health lead. You could always do 5 air types if they get hit. And then, you know, you do annihilation from full screen. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already know that, but if they're close enough, you can just obviously do something like this. Air type into that, into this, and then you get, you know, charge your meter back. So yeah, when it comes to Akaza, the reason why he's such a high skill ceiling is because, like, you know, obviously you got to be wary about how you use your skills. You know, they have a little delay to them, so people can dash you out of it, you know, sometimes. But yeah, he's really meter heavy. That's why. Like, you air type, let's say you air type, you don't want to get punished sometimes. People could dodge it, throw assist. You're going to be canceling. You're already using 2 meter. Like, you're air typing into dashing. You're already using 2 bars of meter just to approach people in neutral or try to keep them away. That's why it's pretty good to use air type, you know, in the air. You know, I would say it's better, like more preferred than doing it on the ground anyways. To be honest, you can also do disorder in there. It's a pretty good punishing tool. You know, it's a compass, you know, stuff like that. And then you could just, you know, you don't gotta do the whole combo meter, but you could just sit back and get your meter back a little bit. But yeah, other things like, you know, he has a good grab. His grab's always been good, you know. Does more damage in this game, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, you got the plunge, you got what I do in his combo routes and stuff like that. Now let's get some meter on the table, right? Now he has the 2 bars, right? A lot of times when I'm about to cash out, or like even if I don't have the demon skills to cash out, sometimes I'd be doing double compass. You can boost, compass again. Then you could just, you know what I mean? You could just do stuff like that. You know, it's pretty cool, right? I love how you can boost combos in this game. It's pretty cool. And then, you know, you can do something like this. Go for the full auto combo. Like I said, so obviously you can do disorder. It's an ultimate as well. His ultimate routes, a lot of people don't know. You can ult definitely after 2 collapses as well. But you got to do it immediately. Like, you have to ult immediately or you're not going to get it. So yeah, you can do something like that. So yeah, it's like when I'm about to cash out, like if you're about to cash out, you should just go ahead, let all the compasses rip. I mean, the collapses rip. And then you could just do something like that too. It's pretty cool. Like, it's some cool things you can do with Akaza. So that's pretty much like the gist of Akaza, right? That's his toolkit, like the air types. You can like mix something in and do like dash into a grab, but that's kind of obvious, so you don't really wanna go for that. But yeah, like I said, Akaza, level 2 dash speed, his damage multiplier is 1.25. You know, he still takes a ton of damage, so you getting hit, making mistakes on Akaza as well, that adds to like the skill ceiling of this character. If you make mistakes, you're gonna get punished, you know. He's definitely a character with very strong neutral, strong tools, like, you know, the air type, annihilation, disorder. Like, he has good tools to check you in neutral, a good way to get in. That's why he's strong, you know. And random players with Akaza, they throw you off guard doing certain things. But if you are, Akaza's weakness is, you know, patient players, right? But Akaza has a good keep away game as well, so he can definitely play the patient game as well, because he doesn't do a lot of guard damage. Another fact about Akaza is that in this game, if someone guard is red, he can no longer confirm off of compass, and I'm going to show you that. I'm going to get his guard red. Oh, I kind of messed it up. Let me get his guard red. He can no longer, you know, do that anymore. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. They should probably fix that. But yeah, as you guys know, Akaza doesn't really do much guard damage or chip damage that much. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Akaza guide. I cannot lie. Like I said, those are the routes you really want to go for. Like I said, avoid using demon skills in your combos unless you're about to cash out and boost or go into surge, you know. And obviously in surge you can do, you know, a lot of stuff. And, you know, people be doing some fancy combos with Akaza. You guys already seen it, but I'm pretty sure there's, you know, a lot of good, like some good Akaza players, like I mentioned, like Maki, SJB, Chrome, Mask, Ru, even you know, Horn of Judah, aka Mr. Silent, you know what I'm saying? They have a great Akazas as well. Those are the best Akazas I can think of off the top of my head. They have really good Akazas. You know, like I said, they'll have more insight if they do see the video, you know, they can add some more input to it. But yeah, this is pretty much it for the Akaza guide. You already know what you have to do with, like, when it comes to ults with Akaza and stuff like that. But this is pretty much it for the Akaza guide. If there's anything I left out, we could talk about it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in another video.
No one else we can dream.